everyone, welcome back to the Spiritual Social. I'm Lexi, and today I have a video on the new moon in Sagittarius, which is taking place on the 26th of November. It is a fantastic moon. It is right after a really intense, really creepy, really life-changing, for me and other people who have very strong Pluto placements in Scorpio, period. So it is a joyous new energy coming in, filtering through. A lot of things are coming out into the clear. A lot of people are speaking their truth after we've been holding on and repressing and ruminating and thinking, am I good enough? Is this gonna work out? Should I tell people what I feel? And you know, Scorpio feels a lot, you know, the big feeler of the zodiac. And now everything bursts out in the open. We are having the intergalactic center is being touched by the transit of the sun at the moment. The intergalactic center is at 26 degrees Sagittarius. But if you have planets in between 23 to 26, let's say 29 as well, degrees Sagittarius, you are being super affected at the moment. And whatever is happening for you in this period is going to be a joyous transformation. And I'm really happy to give this message to you. So it's a new moon in Sagittarius. It's conjunct. I can barely speak. I'm so excited. It's conjunct Jupiter, the Great Benefic, the planet of good luck. So we not only have the optimistic, go-getting, super sporty sign of Sagittarius that tends to rationalize their feelings rather than delve into them. The person that sees the big picture, the person that loves being in nature. That's why I'm surrounded by a mini jungle today, just to tap into this like wild and free energy that Sagittarius represents. So we have the new moon. It is conjunct Jupiter. It is also, for those of you that are born 1986 to 1987, it is such positive energy coming into your karmic work, because people born during those 2 years are people that are the Saturn and Sagittarius generation, and we all know that those are the people that have been doing so much work trying to read, trying to understand. They have had so much obstacles in their path to their optimism. So whenever they're trying to be happy, something happens and it smacks them back down into depression or into states of despondency, and they always have to work on themselves and have to share what they are learning with others. So a lot of you may be teachers, a lot of you may be counselors, gurus, maybe you started your own religion, maybe you are involved in religious work if you don't have your own church, but it's a lot of work of trying to be happy. So I have good news for you, 1986 and 1987 born babies. This is your time. You are getting your karmic rewards, or if you want to put it differently, you are getting your dharma, okay? So good news. Good news all around. And it's especially beautiful to speak well, to think well, to feel happy in this period, because you are manifesting like this. We are not only having Jupiter conjunct the sun, conjunct the moon, but we are also having Saturn in its own sign, Capricorn. So it's as if karma is slowly being dished out, and at the same time you can quickly manifest new relationships, new ideas, new things that are pushing you away from your karmic past. So they are making you fulfill your dharma. It's a very weird dynamic where, you know, you're like feeling the shadows of the past and kind of wanting to not let go and wanting to feel like, oh, things would have been different if only I would have acted in this way. But that's the past, so we have to leave it behind, you know, leave behind those toxic relationships. Stop mourning over your exes, deal with your family drama, and sometimes you have to stand up and cut them off, you know, if they're being too rude and disrespectful. But at the same time, it's the pool of the present. It's the fantastic energy and the dynamism of the present. Magical things are happening at the moment. If you've been stuck in a toxic situation, something is happening and it's taking you out of it, whether you like it or not. And then you're like, wait a minute, this is actually much better. Why didn't I think of this? This is amazing. Did I manifest this unconsciously? So this is the kind of energy that we're going in at the moment. Please write down your biggest dreams at the moment. Take a piece of paper or on your iPads or on your tablets. Just make a list of all the things you've always wanted to have, because the times are too magical to be wasted. We've got Neptune and Pisces fulfilling dreams left and right, and also creating a lot of boozy delusions. So try to stay away from drugs and alcohol in this period. But I can't tell you how to live your life. You do you. But at the same time, I'm just saying, if you're doing that, try to imagine the best world possible for yourself. Don't fall back into regret, drama, delusion, shame, fear, guilt. Don't feed those things, because they will magnify and they will create these illusions of fear that will stop you from actually going after the job you want, getting that place, moving into a new environment, getting that person that you want, fulfilling all of your dreams in active, practical steps. So Neptune in Pisces, Jupiter in Sagittarius, and Saturn in Capricorn. Exalted signs in their exalted placements. Dharma, karma, and the fulfillment of your dreams. So let's push this energy upwards, guys, and try to manifest. Whew, okay. I'm an introvert, so I'm not so accustomed with the hey-ho kind of energy. But seriously, the events that have been happening in my life have been teaching me so much lately about the power of faith and the power of tuning into your inner divinity, and of realizing that sometimes harsh blows are actually blessings in disguise. They are pushing you into much better spaces, into much better relationships. They are just magnifying all of your dreams, Okay, so that was my message for the new moon in Sagittarius. It is a really magical time. Please write down your intentions. Oh, for those of you that are new to this idea of what are intentions, they are just basically sentences that always have to end with now and should be written in the first person as if they already happened. So let me give you an example. I am ready to be with my soulmate now. I am attracting a lot of wealth in my life now. I am going to graduate my course now. I mean, the more specific they are, the more chance that they will actually fulfill themselves. We already kind of nurture these dreams inside of ourselves and in our minds. We constantly think about how to improve things, how to solve problems, how to keep our worries at bay. But intentions are just a way to write them down on a piece of paper, to kind of bring them out, to materialize them, what we call grounding. So taking an idea from up above, or wherever ideas come from, our minds most of the times, but who knows what inspires our minds. Psychologists are still debating that. Taking them from above, from our head, from our unconscious, from our dreams, from our desires, from our ancestral heritage, wherever you want to link it back to, connect it to, plug it into. So we're taking those ideas and we have to somehow feel them already before they're happening, do something with them. So for example, let's say you want a baby, so you start like buying baby clothes, you're like attracting this energy into your life, or you're spending more time with the children of your friends, or with babies in your own family, because you're getting ready to materialize it, you're getting ready to bring that baby into your life. And then what do you know, all of a sudden you meet somebody, you have an amazing intimate relationship, and you get pregnant. So things like that. That's just one example. It could work with your business, for example. You've been trying to manifest your business, and all of a sudden, if you start writing these intentions, and if you take good care of yourself, because intentions and self-care go hand in hand. You can't just think, oh, I want this and that, but then don't do anything to materialize that. You have to take very good care of yourself. So self-love and intentions, magic. And I can tell you this from personal experience. I mean, I'm not the poster child for self-love. I still have loads to learn about that. I'm still struggling with some self-care aspects. But when I do it, when I get it right after a period of effort and perseverance, my thoughts and my emotions instantly manifest. So it's like I'm throwing a slingshot into the universe, and it's like bam. So keep in mind, self-care and intentions create magic, not just one without the other, okay? Align your body, your mind. Remember that old Latin saying, mens sana in corpore sano. So it's basically just align your mind, align your body, let loose your emotions, because once you take care of your body, your emotions stabilize as well, and you become super powerful in an emotional way as well. And once you got all those elements right, bam, manifestation maximum. Okay, so enough about that. I feel like I kind of fully throttled you with that. I just want to give you guys a lot of good energy, so it's a little bit of Reiki involved here, trying to heal as well. So as I'm healing, I'm also trying to help you guys heal, because it's all about exchange of energy. So I feel like if I'm being given a lot of help from my spirit guides, I want to give it back to you as well. And I really hope that, this reaches out to you and that it helps you in whatever way possible. Okay? Even if it made you laugh, that's great. Okay, but now I want to move on to the second part of this video, which is all about, I want to talk about the 12 moon signs. So, one of the best things I've learned from all my years of studying astrology is that knowing your moon sign, especially if you're a woman or a man that is very in touch with his feminine side, you don't have to be gay, you can just be very sensitive, because we all carry this archetype, the masculine archetype called the animus and the feminine archetype called the anima. We usually model these archetypes after the image of our mother and our father. So some of us can have very conflicted, very toxic kind of mother and father images within ourselves, but we can heal them by looking at other models, cultural models, film models, whatever kind of models you find in your environment, maybe teachers, maybe priests, maybe friends, whoever we fall in love with and think, wow, I want to be like this person. So we create this image of the idealized male, which is the animus, and the idealized female inside, which is the anima. And you can be a woman with a very strong animus, so you act incredibly tough and powerful and driven and, testosterone packed. Or you can be a man that is very in touch with his anima, and you can be like super sensitive and nurturing and in touch with your feelings and intuitive and empathic, and you feel things before you think them, and you can preempt things before they happen. Or you can be very influenced by the cycle of the moon as well, just like if you're a woman with a strong animus, you're very influenced by the cycles of Mars. When Mars changes signs or when Saturn changes signs, it affects you predominantly. Okay, I didn't feel like I wanted to talk to you guys about this, but it just came out, so I'm channeling something at the moment, and I'm going to put timestamps below, don't worry. But I want to talk to you about the moon cycles. So, as I said, knowing your moon sign, especially as a woman, it's much more important than your sun sign. So let's say you're a sun sign in Taurus, but your moon sign is in Gemini. You are a Taurus then that needs a lot of mental stimulation. You need to talk to people. So people might think, oh, you're not really like a Taurus, you're not acting like one. But your needs, the way in which you nurture yourself, the way in which you replenish yourself could be by using technology, by talking to your friends, by doing lots of little errands for people, writing letters, helping others write letters or apply for jobs, or anything that has to do with communication, with socializing, with being light and carefree and a little bit superficial, like not a lot about depth and emotions, but just in your mind most of the time. So, or let's say, for example, you're a Capricorn, a very serious, sober sign focused on career, but your moon is in Leo, which is like this really flamboyant, dramatic, sexy kind of sign that, loves the drama. They love the big hair, big red lipstick, big declarations of love. They have a lover in every port because they are so charismatic. So that's kind of like, it's a bit of a tension, but it's also you. So you have both of these energies within you. You're both sober and also dramatic. You're both businesslike and also like very indulgent in life's pleasures, and like a child sometimes, you can be quite whiny, or you can stomp your feet when things don't go your way, like Leos sometimes do that. So thinking through these things, or sometimes you're lucky enough to have a sun in Pisces, for example, and a moon in Pisces. So you're a double Pisces. You are the sun and the moon coupled in your chart, which means that you're incredibly fertile. You're full of ideas, but you're also, because you're amplified, it's also like it's making your sign a little bit worse, because you're not just the Pisces, you're a double Pisces. So you don't get only the good aspects of Pisces, but you could also get the negative aspects of Pisces. Like You can be very alluring, very beautiful, very intuitive, but at the same time very sleepy, very morose. You're having issues communicating clearly to people. So I hope that this gives you an idea of how moons interact with your sun sign. Your sun sign is basically basically your sun sign is your identity, and your moon sign is your inner world, your needs, how you are resting, how you need to take care of yourself. So moon sign work is connected to self-love and self-worth and self-care. So I wanted to talk to you about this because, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, self-love is deeply connected to how we manifest. Okay, so the better we love ourselves, the more we are standing in our light, in our truth, in our power. And I can hear some sirens outside. Ooh, this is important. The better we do that, the more we love ourselves, the more we manifest whatever we want really quickly. And who doesn't want that? Okay, who doesn't want to live better and more fulfilled and a better life? Maybe there are some people out there, but anyway, I'm talking to the people that really, really are striving for something better. So, without further ado, I'm going to move now to the description of each astrological moon sign, okay? So, moon in Aries. If you have moon in Aries or in your first house, you are incredibly passionate and driven and almost martial. You are this kind of person that is cannot hide their feelings. So if you have a moon sign in Aries non-contaminated by other external planets, so let's say moon conjunct Saturn, moon conjunct Uranus, moon conjunct Mars, or anything like that, you just have a pure moon, nothing, no other planet is around it, then you are immediately expressing your feelings. If somebody pisses you off, you rage. If somebody is exciting you, you're like super enthusiastic and you jump on them all over. If you feel that there is an injustice happening, you immediately act. You know, it's moon in Aries is one of the least controllable lunar energies. It's super passionate, super fiery. They light up immediately and they extinguish immediately. They're the kind of people that might need fewer rest than other signs. So you might need more excitement, more adrenaline actually to recharge. It's a paradoxical energy, right? Because we understand through rest most of the time, like taking long baths or I don't know, sleeping a lot or just feeling calm and peaceful. No. Moon and Aries are not like that. They sleep for 5 hours, they wake up and then they're like, yeah, let's do this, let's do that. You know, come on, excitement. Let's create, let's innovate, let's go out, let's dominate our opponents. You know, how dare you talk to me like that? You know, they spend a lot of time isolated from other people, so they're not that as sociable as a moon in Libra because they like to create. So they are super excited about creating. And that could mean creating new life. So they love sex and physical pleasure, physical exercise, sports, extreme sports, you know, intensity, driving cars, fighting, arguing, fires them up, you know. But they can also switch out very easily, you know. So it's kind of like a little bit like a Gemini energy. So they kind of like, they fire up and then they calm down. It's I'm kind of channeling this energy at the moment. I feel my pressure is getting, you know, my blood pressure is rising. So they are this kind of like firecrackers. Literally, they are like a firecracker. If you don't believe me, look at Rihanna. Rihanna is like the prototype of a moon in Aries. She is so passionate and feisty. She does have a sun in Pisces, which tends to calm her down a little bit and make her softer. But moon in Aries usually are like, you know, the sports people that we love to admire. They are boxers, they are our defenders, they are the military. They are, they can sometimes be even people that create cosmetics, but they don't do it because they appreciate beauty that much. They just love to create. They love the colors. They love the idea of trying new things, of associating new textures with new forms, with new colors and shapes and sizes, you know. So creative energy, passionate, fire, these are the things that kind of feed into the description of a moon in Aries. How can you regenerate your moon? If you have a moon in Aries, the best thing to do, as I said, drive around listening to loud music. I know this might get you in trouble, so be careful where you do it. Maybe somewhere out in nature. Go on a safari. wear really like clothes that reveal your body and go out clubbing, um, go bungee jumping, have fun with your friends, have sex, go out and exercise, play loud music. Um, you could also be like on the shyer side. So I would suggest spend a lot of time creating, painting, working on your craft, reading, so educating, anything that has to do with the mind, because it's a lot of like mental energy with the fire sign as well. Um, lead something, be the leader of a group. I mean, people will naturally put you in that position because they feel your energy so powerfully, but you need to lead something. You need to be the leader of your family, the leader of your group at work, the boss, the manager. You need to be out there in front going like, this is my crew and I'm defending everyone and this is how things are going to work out. Organize as well, not to the same extent as the moon in Virgo, but you can organize things, you can parse them, you can figure out this is what we can take, this is what we can eliminate. You're very good at cutting things off, cutting the bullshit, cutting through the crap. Okay, so hopefully this can help you. I know it's a bit crazy to suggest bungee jumping if maybe you don't have those like if you don't have that capacity at the moment, but you can do something a bit mildly risky and adventurous. Buy a really picante sauce from the supermarket. Do something fiery, do something risky, do something, but like within reason, don't go crazy now. But do something a bit, exciting. Even if you start a bonfire with your friends, in the woods one night because it's cold outside at the moment. That could also be something that, will regenerate your moon and will make you feel so much better. Okay, so this applies to moon in Aries or if you have moon in your first house. Now, moving on to moon in Taurus or moon in your second house. Let me channel this energy a little bit. You are a little bit the opposite of what I've just described. Moon in Taurus is the pleasure seeker. You regenerate the most when you are putting on face masks, doing your nails, having a massage, wearing really nice, well-made clothes from 100% Egyptian cotton or organic cotton, or maybe silk blouses, or wearing like very well-fitting clothes that complement your figure, and when you move in them you feel like your whole body is liberated but also comforted. You love security, stability. You have lifelong friendships, or you create relationships that you maintain for a very long period of time, much to the envy of all the other moon signs. Why? Because you're not explosive. You are not erratic. You are not superficial. You are reliable, stable. Your energy is like pulling people in a very sensual way, calming them down and making them stay, making them rest and take a breath. You are attracted to nature. You love going outside, being next to the ground. You might even love the way that the ground smells after rain, or how autumn leaves smell when you walk down the streets, or maybe on your way to work right now. It's like this explosion of natural smells that come from the ground. You might be a tree hugger as well. You love to just be in nature. You love to be touching, feeling, smelling, tasting as well. Food is a big thing with moon in Taurus. Everything that comes from the natural world. So the more organic, the more non-processed. Drink alkaline water, not water that is high in acidic properties. Everything that has to do with like soft makeup that is gentle, that is not hurting the earth, cleaning your bodies in rituals with essential oils, with handmade soaps, with everything that has to do with this crafty part of life. You are the worker. You are the one that creates reality through their hands, through their body. Okay, you are not over intellectualizing things. You don't like that. You don't like to excessively talk about things. You like to do, and you do step by step, perseverance. So you don't give up. If something fails, you go at it again. If something fails, again and again and again and again. You might also give people more chances than other people do. So if somebody betrayed your trust, you might be, let's see, I'll be indulgent with you, I'll be lenient, and let's see what happens, you know. So you might give people more than one chance, not to the same degree that can be quite unhealthy, like a Pisces or a Cancer moon could sometimes do. But you are a big believer in kindness, a big believer in morality, a big believer in maintaining peaceful relationships because you love harmony. You don't want to have a hair out of place. You want to wake up in the morning in a world that is stable, that is natural, that feels good. So you create this environment around you. You spread harmony. It's almost like you want to take people in your arms and hold them there, you know. It's like, I am stable, I am here, you know, grab onto me, latch onto me. You might make excellent mothers because of this. So moon in Taurus is considered many times an exalted sign because Taurus is ruled by Venus and the moon is a lunar, feminine, considered the feminine energy. So moon and Venus, it's like the high priestess and the empress coming together. So if you have a moon in Taurus, you are a really lucky person, and you might also be very beautiful, like innerly beautiful. I don't even know how to describe it. You might not look classically like a very beautiful person, but you are just, you shine from within because you eat well, because you treat yourself well, you sleep well, you're just in touch with nature. And you know, people that are in touch with nature, they vibrate. It's almost like there is a very good aura around them. So you kind of transmit this energy out there. So this applies if you have moon in Taurus or moon in the second house. And I guess some of the things that I told you already in the ways in which you can actually help yourself. So as I said, get a massage, put your feet up, do face masks, eat well, eat a really sumptuous, lovely meal that has been slow cooked, like, I don't know, a slow cooked beef bourguignon, or you know, have a glass of wine, a really nice chateaubriand or something like that. So all sorts of like delightful things, you know. You are a person that loves to just Netflix and chill, literally Netflix and chill, not even the other meaning of Netflix and chill because it's too much exertion to actually have sex, but it's about putting your feet up on the couch, on a really comfortable, sumptuous couch, and just, you know, learning something new, reading a good book. And even if you want to have sex to relax, you really take your time. You don't rush, you don't push, you don't force. It's all about, you know, touching sensually, feeling softly. It's a lot about the discovery of the skin rather than athleticism or probing the depths of the soul, okay? So I hope this really helped. I'm moving on to the third sign. If you have moon in Gemini or moon in the third, completely different energy than the other two. You are the talker, okay? So moon and Geminis are super funny. They are the kind of people that share memes with you all the time on WhatsApp or Facebook or Twitter, or, you know, they DM people on Instagram. They communicate with people from all over the world. It's like from the moment they wake up, it's as if a folder opens up in their head, you know, all systems operating. Let's do this and this and this and this and this, and let's see how we can do this and this and this, and how can I do two things at the same time, you know. They don't necessarily do it because they want to be efficient, because they don't have the efficiency goals of a Capricorn or of a Virgo. They do it because it's fun, because they are trying to test their mind. Can I actually do three things at the same time? Can I cook, clean, and sing? You know, can I message my grandmother, hold the baby, and at the same time stir the pot? Can I don't know, write a letter for my friend, talk to my husband about something, and at the same time wrap a present? They are super sociable. So they are those kind of people that are adorable because they write all the nice cards, they give all the lovely gifts, they wrap everything very nicely. They are excellent gift givers, excellent communicators. So if you want some advice on your cover letter for your job, or how your CV looks like, or how your LinkedIn page should be reorganized, go to a moon in Gemini. They have all of the tips and tricks for how to present yourself in a best possible light. Why? Because they understand people on a superficial level, and that's not a bad thing. It's just we need this energy. They understand the way status is achieved in life through how you look, how you think, how you crack jokes at the right time, in the right context, so that the right people like you, okay? So that whatever you think, feel, and say works for your benefit, okay? They really don't like it when people kind of tend to self-sabotage themselves, like they whine a lot, they complain a lot of negativity, because they think, well, this is not successful, you know, this is not going to get you far. Behind every Gemini mentality, although they look very like wishy-washy and all over the place, it's a very strong will. They are incredibly determined, so they want to achieve. They are ambitious. Don't be fooled, okay? They might look sweet and cuddly, and but they will manipulate you like this, you know? And you want to figure out when you actually gave them all the details of your bank account, and now they have taken over your Twitter account, and now all of a sudden they moved into your house, and you're married to them, and you have their children, and they are taking a second mortgage on the house. So be careful, okay? Behind that really fluffy, sweet, cute mentality lies a very calculated person, okay? So related to the moon aspect, you might like to relax by playing games. You might like board games, you might like computer games, you might love to go to museums and see robotics exhibitions, you might be turned on by watching sci-fis. You might do this together with other fellow moon in Libras or moon in Aquarius, because, you know, the air trine is the futuristic trine of all the elements. You might like going out and eating things, but not in the way that a Taurus eats, like very luxurious, very good food. You might just try like, oh, let's try this and that and this and that, and I want several flavors of ice creams, but only a scoop, because I want to try everything and I don't want to miss out. FOMO is a big thing with moon in Gemini, so fear of missing out. YOLO is a big thing with them. You know, you only live once. What other things? Yeah, I kind of feel a bit exhausted, I have to say. It's like, whew, channeling this energy is draining me. But if you are naturally a moon in Gemini, you are naturally a master craftsman of words, of experiences, of tricking people. You know, it doesn't have to be in that way to deceive them. You could also reach fraud levels or theft levels, you know. But in a non-pathological way, you can just like to play around. You like to see, if I say this thing, how would this person react? So you're like experimenting, sometimes psychologically with people. This is why Moon and Geminis are very good counterparts to Moon and Scorpios, because Scorpios do it from they like to see how people react to what they say from an emotional way. So they like to charm them sexually and pull them in. While Moon and Geminis are more about the mental aspect. So they're a lot about, oh, okay, so if I say this thing, how will this person react? Let's have a go. Let's take a risk, you know? And they're also very, they can sometimes be quite pessimistic and small-minded. So that's kind of the downside of a Moon in Gemini. So they tend to just be focused on their own little world, and they tend to be quite afraid of traveling, afraid of experiencing other things. They might need the impetus of a Moon in Sagittarius, and they might sometimes suffer from low self-esteem. So they might go through periods when they think they're not good enough, or they think, this is not for me, or responsibility, push it away. So if you have a Moon in Gemini, and if you want to feel good when life becomes too bad and somber and, you know, heavy, the best thing to do, as I said, is socialize. Go on social media as well, meet your friends in real life, just go to the nearest pizza place with your friends, have a very casual, comfortable conversation about everything that crosses your mind. You can talk to them about everything. That's the beauty about Gemini energy, and especially Moon in Gemini, is they can talk about everything from aliens to the pro-life campaign, to what people eat in Uganda, to how they should redecorate their flat, to how can you improve my CV, to the new nail polish that they bought. Okay, so that's kind of the thing. And they also have a knack for accessories. So instantly you can make yourself feel good if you have a Moon in Gemini, not only if you communicate with people and if you help other people out, but also if you start, you know, decorating yourself. So wear a lot of bracelets and a lot of rings and a lot of like piercings. You can have tattoos as well. Anything that kind of makes you look and feel different will completely re-energize you, okay? Another good way to bring in this energy, read a couple of blogs, you know, not very long pieces, so don't start reading War and Peace now, but read blogs, read the news, read tweets. Reading, you know, like mental stimulation really, really gets you going again, okay? So if you feel down, just grab a book, grab, I don't know, some blog articles, and just ramp up that Moon in Gemini sparkling, charming energy. You won't regret it. Okay, so that was Moon in Gemini, or Moon in the 3rd house. Now, Moon in the 4th house. Oh, okay. Going through the astrological wheel is really schizophrenic at one point. Moon in Cancer. You are in the sign of the moon. You are basically the moon. The Cancer is ruled by the moon sign. So you borrow all of that moody, sensual, self-renewing energy. You fluctuate as the moon changes itself every 28 days. It goes from full to new, from new to full. It governs, you know, the tides in nature. And wow, okay, the fridge just started. It's almost like a machine that just turned on. This is how you react as well. You are a very changeable, emotional nature, but this is great. And why is it considered that the moon is in its sign and it's one of the best energies to have? And Moon in Cancer adapts quickly. So adapts according to the environment. You adapt your emotions. You are not stagnant in them. A moon in Taurus, for example, can linger on the same feeling for a very long time. Much like a moon in Capricorn, they can't let go of certain feelings. But you feel anger, and then you feel a little bit of joy, then you feel hope, and then you feel love, and then you feel bliss, and then you kind of calm down a little bit. You might feel depressed, you're thinking about something in the past, and then you feel rage again, and then you calm down again, and then you feel. So I hope that you can get some understanding of how this functions. You are not doing it in a stop-start kind of way, you know. You are not as impulsive as a moon in Aries would be. You are very like, you flow through your feelings. You are excellent mothers and excellent fathers as well if you have a moon in Cancer as a man. Why? Because you just know. Your intuition is so developed, and you know how to touch a person, when to touch a person, when to comfort them, when to give them space, when to hug them, when to push them away, when to give tough love, when to give soft love, when to sexually heal somebody, okay? Or even emotionally heal somebody, you know? Like, you're the kind of person that notices when a person is talking to you and they're upset. You can go and be like, everything okay, buddy? Rough day? You know? So you're the kind of person that understands quickly. You don't do it from a mental place. You do it from a, okay, I'm feeling what you're feeling right now. Let me help you. You love to help. You love to help. You love to put your heart in everything you do, from wrapping presents for your children, to decorating your office for Halloween, to making a really good presentation and delivering it in front of your classroom, to, if you're a doctor or a healer, to patching and sewing and helping people recover after wounds and trauma, to being the best wife and the best husband because you want to just be there for your partner, mind, body, and soul. So you're very committed, you're very into creating an environment of safety. You're all about safety. You can be very slow to open up because of that. People might perceive you as shy or remote at the beginning, but it's only because you're testing the water. So you have a sort of like time lag, a little bit of a delay when you meet somebody, because you're thinking, I'm reading you right now and I'm trying to understand, are you safe? Can I be myself? Can I open up? Or should I put a sort of a little crab-like facade? Should I act tough right now? Or can I just be myself and be loving and give to you? Will you receive if I give to you? So you're kind of like, you know, you're not at all foolish. You've got great instincts, great survival instincts, on the same par as a moon in Scorpio. and you are able to just adapt very well to a new job, moving to another place. But as I said at the beginning, you might suffer from homesickness, you might suffer from a lot of nostalgia over what has been. So you go through a period when you're like, oh no, I don't want to leave my old life, and then you're like, oh, actually, wait, I can adapt really well to this one, who knew? Oh, I surprised myself. Or I don't want to leave this relationship, but it's hurting you and it's depleting you, and then when the moon is full, you are able to let go of that relationship, and when the moon is new, you might meet another person. So pay attention to the rhythms of the moon. Have a calendar where you mark where the moon is every month, each sorry, I'm getting a little bit sleepy. I think this energy is kind of like, oh, it's making me feel so comforted. So get a calendar and mark when the new moons and the full moons are taking place each month. See if you can eat according to that kind of energy, because as a moon in Cancer, you might overeat sometimes. When it's hard, when you're in a harsh environment where you're feeling unsafe, you might overeat, you might take in, because you take in a lot. And it's not just food, you can take in people's anger as well. You can take in people's vitriol, people's toxicity. So I would suggest taking long baths, cleansing baths, showers, going to the pool. If you are, I know a couple of moon in Cancers and Cancers in general might suffer from a fear of water, but that is just basically a fear of going into your emotions, a fear of a little bit being yourself, because you are a water sign. So maybe take a friend with you or a family member that you feel very comfortable with, and step by step try to overcome your fear of water, because as a water sign, I can with hand on heart tell you, being around water, just looking at it, just putting your feet in it, it's so regenerative, it's so restorative. Okay, so paying attention to the cycles of the moon, sleeping, dreaming, nurturing other people, taking care of other people, being around water. You might also be into magic, into tarot, and if you are, that's amazing because you are super intuitive. So even just getting like a tarot deck and playing around with it. Everything that has to do with feeling safe, sometimes you can even regenerate by looking through old family photos, by going back to your old school or to your hometown, or even spending some time with your mom. Usually moon in Cancers have very nice moms, very nurturing moms, who taught them to be in touch with their emotions, with their intuition. So yeah, even just spending time with your mom can regenerate you very quickly. Okay, so I hope this helped. This is applying to you if you have a moon in Cancer or a moon in the 4th house, okay? So once again, I know I'm kind of halfway through it. This does not apply if you have moon conjunct other planets, because that has a slightly different influence on you, okay? This applies mostly if you have like a pure moon placement. I know a few of us have pure moon placements, but just to give you a flavor of what I'm talking about here, if you're thinking, oh, I have a moon in Cancer and this doesn't apply, well, it could be because there are other things in your chart that are stressing your moon. And if you want to, I can have a look over your chart and let you know. Okay, moon in Leo. Ooh, okay. This is a tough one, because consider a moon in Aries and maximize it. I mentioned the passion, I mentioned the drive, I mentioned the need for speed and argumentativeness of an Aries. Well, take that and ground it and double it. That's basically a Leo. Not a Leo sun, but a Leo moon. Now, it's really a kind of weird way in which it functions. So, you have to be dramatic. There's no way around it. You have to give in to your passionate feelings. I suggest going to the opera. That's a very healthy way of being dramatic and feeling with other person. grandiose feelings. You live for big feelings, for the drama of it, for passionate sex, for passionate living, for stories that you live to tell your grandchildren, for for tragic love affairs, you know, for the thrill of breaking up with somebody and having passionate sex with them, thinking that you're renewing the relationship. And then you wake up the next morning and you realize, oh no, what have I done? But it was fun. You have to learn, if you grew up and you were shamed or guilt tripped for how passionate you were and how sometimes quite authoritarian you were and how you stood your ground vehemently, because you can be super stubborn as well. If people shamed you for that while you were growing up, let go of that shame. You were made to shine, okay? Moon and Leos are very sexy. They are just, it's like a light, but a light from within. You can even see that most of them are actually sitting very proudly, when, you know, with their chest open. There might be that kind of men and women that decorate their chest a lot, or, you know, unbutton their shirt to a really like desperate degree. You're thinking, oh my God, what is this person? You know, they have like a cross or something. Religion is also quite important for them. For some of them, they might have grown up in families that are quite religious, so they have taken on this kind of traditional approach to life, you know, God, country, military, whatever, my culture, you know. For others, the exalted ones, it's more like they need to be connected to the divine. So it's almost like their hearts are pulling them upwards to the heaven, because they have this open chest, and because their heart chakra is like going and going and going and going and going, you know. They have to be this kind of open energy towards the world. They're very brave, okay? And if you find a moon in Leo that is not brave, that is like a sad, scared kitty, that is definitely related to past childhood trauma or to other afflicted energies in their chart. They might have some tensions there between maybe their Sun in Capricorn, Sun in Scorpio, and Moon in Leo, which is no. It's such a difficult placement, because it's basically a battle between light and dark, you know, emotional control and drama all the time. So it can be quite draining, and I'm feeling quite sorry if you have this combination. I dated a lot of Sun in Scorpios, Moon in Leos, and oh my God, are they a trip. But they're beautiful people, they're very charming, they're attractive people, so I'm gonna give them that. Moving back to just the pure Moon and Leo placement. So as I said, if you want to replenish your Moon and Leo, declare love to someone, write love letters, read love novels, go to the opera, treat your friends out. You need a public. You definitely need a public. Go on YouTube, start your own channel, start your own modeling agency, start your own casting agency, start your own business, start your own religion. Become the best painter or artist in town. I'm sure that you will get around and people will get to know you based on your sexual conquests as well, because being this passionate and being this like heart aflame immediately, it's like, oh, I like something, I want it now, you know. This is gonna get you into a lot of relationships. But like the best quality that you could have is that you have the capacity to ground them, to maintain them to a better extent than a moon in Aries or a moon in Sagittarius, that are also fiery, but they're fiery in different ways. They don't have this concentrated fire. You are basically like a forest fire, you know. If they are firecrackers, you're a forest fire, you know. Imagine the heat of the sun combined with the fragility of the moon. That's basically you. So you definitely need to be in some sort of leadership position as well as an Aries, but you are in a leadership position where you're not doing all the groundwork. You're not the soldier, you're the king or the queen. So you are delegating. So you need a public, you need a group of supporters that you can delegate everything to. If you don't have that, you're not living at your fullest potential. You need to just rev yourself up, believe in yourself, talk yourself up, open that heart chakra, because you can and you have this capacity. You just need to be honest, open, clear, decisive, brave. And as I said, let go of the shame and let go. Sorry, I just felt like there was a light. It's like, ooh. I'm talking about light of the sun and light that's coming in. Anyway, coming back. So being a leader, shining brightly, taking risks, because you will see that whenever you take risks, you are tenfold rewarded, okay? You inspire other people to live in light, and that's why people follow you. They don't follow you because you dominate them and you tell them what to do. That's a really badly afflicted moon in Leo. No, they follow you because they love how you take care of yourself. They love how you inspire. They love how you stand up and you say, no, this is unfair. I'm not going to put up with this, Or I'm standing by what I believe in. I'm standing by my culture, my tradition, my background, my woman, my man, my family. You're like, nobody's going to push this citadel down. I'm a fortress of power. So the more grounded you are, the more committed you are, the more relaxed in your own power. It's like, this is my kingdom. I can share it with anyone. But if you mock me, you're down. You're out, So the more you are like that, the more respect you're going to inspire in people, the more they are going to want to be around you, cater to you, take care of you, because they see your innocence, they see your playfulness, they see your childlike nature. Rather than being a dominant, powerful autocrat, you can be this sexy, playful light, that has fun and enjoys life and dances and parties and shares things with others and is generous, is just generous and committed and fiery and dramatic and wow, a sight to behold, and wow, people are gonna write stories about the way you live your life, or your autobiography is gonna be fantastic, all the juicy bits that other people dream of living in their life, but you were there, you did it, you moved on, and you did it again, and so on and so forth, just like in the Frank Sinatra song, I did it my way. Okay. God, I hope this made sense. Oh, and children are a big thing in your life, okay? So if you don't have them, or if you're not growing your big family, then at least teach them or work with them, because you are a big kid in yourself. And no matter how old you are, you're still going to be a big kid. Be around kids because they activate you like nothing else. Okay, so that was Moon in the 5th house or Moon in Leo. Now I'm going to take a deep breath in to come down from the depths and the heights actually of the sun to a more Mercurian grounded energy. And this is our Moon in Virgo. Consider the High Priestess in Tarot. She is a person that is semi-clothed in darkness, a studious person with very frail nervous energy, but kind-hearted with good intentions. A person that governs over the earth and wants to purify it, wants to cleanse it, wants to organize it, to take care of it, to make sure that all the seeds are planted in the right spots, to make sure that all the clothes are washed and pressed and ironed, to make sure that provisions are organized so we know how to cook, how to organize, how to feed ourselves properly. You are the apothecary keeper of the zodiac. You are the one that basically invented hospitals, self-care, self-hygiene, the one that organizes the bountiful harvest. If you're thinking, well, Lexi, like, what the fuck? I'm in my flat. I'm not an apothecary. I don't run on a field. What are you talking about? Those are just metaphors to think about the cosmic virgin. But basically, as a moon in Virgo, you love to take care of your purity. And this can take many different forms. You are very attentive to what you put into your body, be it food or medicine or vitamins, whatever you take in, you are very particular about it. You nourish yourself, you hydrate inside and outside. You sleep, and you have a very particular sleep schedule because you don't like to be disturbed. You might be that kind of person that puts like earplugs in their ears so that they don't react, or you can sleep with a sleep mask, so to make sure it's complete darkness. You are very comme il faut, or proper, how the French would say. You are a sweetheart, actually. You don't fiddle with these details because in some way, if it's unconscious, it can take a very controlling capacity. It can take you over. It can be obsessive compulsive, like you need to fix something, or you like correct people's grammar all the time, or you're this kind of fussy person. It's like, I'm not gonna eat this, I'm not gonna eat that, oh, this is disgusting, I don't like food that is not cooked in the correct way. So you might put people off because they see it as, oh, so that means you think my food is not good for you, or oh, this person, I can't stand her, it's like, or him, it's like constantly wanting things their own way. But you do it because you are very aware of how important it is to nourish yourself, how important it is to do things properly. And it is important because the more you take care of your body, the more your mind can be clear, the better you work, the better you can manifest things. So I feel like we've kind of reached the middle point right now. Virgo is the middle of the zodiac, the sixth sign. And it links back to what I said at the beginning of this video, if you haven't watched the beginning, that self-care or self-love and intentions, when brought together, manifest things very quickly, so we can bring into reality what we are dreaming about. So you are very particular because you want to work well, and you want to work well because you are aware of how important it is to leave something good behind in the world, to clean the world, to sort the world out. You are sensitive to the world because you are part of it. You are an earth sign, so you feel yourself firmly grounded into reality. The moment you wake up, the moment you realize, this is a place I love, I don't want others to treat it like crap. This is why I am so passionate about getting the proper food from the proper place, grown in a proper way, getting fresh, clean water, helping people deal with diseases, because diseases are against life, against health, against, they stop us from living our best life, from working, from being useful in society, from thinking clearly. So these are some of the motivations behind some of the things that the moon in Virgo does. But if you're thinking from a perspective of, oh, I feel very depleted of energy, what can I do? I have a moon in Virgo, I can't stop worrying, I can't stop obsessing. When your mind starts going, ooh, crazy, it's a bit of a cliche, but the best thing you can do is take a walk in the park, bake cookies, bake good things, create something with your hands, draw, paint, but not necessarily like in a way a Pisces would do it, or a Leo, that splashes of color and inspiration and let me see how things are gonna work out, Saggitarius energy as well. You can just color by dots, you can even create your own mazes, do puzzles. Oh my god, puzzles in Moon and Virgos. Woo! You guys basically invented couples board games night, Another thing is, yes, having somebody to take care of. So Virgos thrive when they have it might sound weird, but when they have a victim or a patient or a child, or a spouse that is a bit incapacitated and weak, you know, they love that, because then it's like they feel needed, and they can take over, they can take care. So they like to feed people at the right times, they like to give medicine to people, because it makes them feel useful, it makes them feel needed, and it also, they see a practical improvement into the other person's life, so that person becomes healthier, happier, you know, able to work again, able to function, able to eat, able to enjoy life. So taking care of people is another thing that you might want to do. Conserving traditions. So you might be a folklorist, you know, collecting songs or collecting recipes from the grandmothers, you know, or sorting out things that have to do with the countryside, or even working in hospitals and being a nurse and taking care of people in that way, or being a teacher, you know, and making sure that all of the students have their supplies, that all of the lessons were planned in advance, so that when you start working, it flows. So those are some of the things that Moon and Virgos can do to make themselves feel better. Surround your house with plants, with natural plants, because in this way, you not only get the oxygen from the plants and it calms you to see so much green around you, but you also have something to care for. So, you know, you need to water the plants, you need to change their earth, you need sometimes to put some fertilizer in. Also, taking care of cats, dogs, mice, parrots, you know, pets, small pets especially, big thing for Virgos. So, cats, I would advise, especially Moon in Virgos and Moon in Scorpios and Moon in Pisces, cat people all the way. But if you are a dog person as well, you know, why not? Especially small dogs, nervous dogs, they are the ones that kind of tend to grab your attention and they will occupy you for a very long time. So, yeah, that would be some of the things. Color code your clothes, put all of your nails and bits and bobbin nails. Why nails? I don't know, like bits and bobbins that you have lying around the house, into colorful jars, and then, you know, put descriptions on what they mean and organize your place. These are some things that can truly make you feel replenished and happy, and, you know, creating order around you makes the chaos in your mind sometimes calm down. So it's that inner chaos, outer order, or inner order, outer chaos dynamic that Virgos are sometimes locked into. And once you're aware of this, once you're aware of the power of your Moon and Virgo sign, then you can easily manipulate it to your benefit. So medicine, self-care, organizing, taking care of other people, being of use, working well, feeling like, you know, your efforts are being repaid, feeling useful, feeling wanted, feeling needed, feeling like you are a small but important part of society and the well-functioning of society, you know? That's our Moon in Virgo, our beautiful, beautiful maiden, okay? Okay,